Hey guys, so I'll be taking the video for semiotic assignment this time, and the assignment is of a visual component, which can be a movie, an advertisement, a short film, or even a static poster, I guess. So I'll be taking the Harry Potter series, the third movie, specifically The Prisoner of Azkaban. Um, Hoping that a lot of people have watched this movie, so it'll be easier to reference. Even either way, so I'll be explaining the context throughout the analysis. So before we start, there are certain words. There are two words that you need to know in a semiotic analysis. How whenever you're doing it, which is the signifier and the signified, which is a very simple concept. A signifier. Let's take an example and explain it. A signifier. Let's take the word dog. DOG. So the English word, when you're writing it in the English language. So DOG, when you show to a person who knows how to read English, they see the word dog and then think of a dog. For example, if in Mica, you think about Far for Frozo. There, but if you show this word to a native Hindi or a Tamil speaker or Marathi speaker, they're going to look at the word and think it's gibberish. They don't understand what's written over there, so they can think about anything, a snake or an elephant, or anything that they want to think. So the signifier becomes without context, it becomes meaningless. So it here we understand that no word in any language has an innate meaning attached to it. So no signifier has an innate meaning. So we give it meaning, and in that context, we understand that meaning. So if you show the word dog to an English speaker, he thinks about Fafo Frozo. When you show the same word dog to a native other language speaker, they're going to think about anything that they want, or they're going to think you're an idiot because they don't understand the language. So this concept of a signifier, which is the dog, the word dog, and the signified, which is the actual dog, will come up in every context. For example, this is an analysis about a visual component. So we'll be talking a lot about color, about movements, and a lot of these concepts. So this is about cinema studies, and I'm really happy about this assignment. It's making me happy. So I love cinema studies. So this over here we were talking about colors and movements and the positioning, the placements of each component in a frame, and what extends to a frame, what is the fourth wall and the third wall, and what are the other three walls and other things. So this everything in a frame when you're doing a semiotic analysis, and when I say a frame, the borders of your visual components and where it ends, and that border can be physical, and it can also be extended from the physical to outside. That is something where uh, when you talk about the office, for example, they say they keep looking at the camera, they break the fourth wall. So that is called breaking the fourth wall. And the other three walls are your stage right, stage left, and your back, which is the rim. So these three sides are your basic frame, and your fourth wall, which is the camera, the audience, is non-existent. So this is a metaphorical wall. So the border extends throughout the frame as well. So whatever is in the frame is what you need to analyze in a semiotic analysis. Over here, we'll be taking Harry Potter, and hopefully, again, hopefully everybody has seen the movie. I'm sharing the screen. Okay. So we're taking Harry Potter, the third movie, and I want to start off and give context from the first movie. So we see over here that the feel of the movie is a bit different. So the first two movies, this is from the first movie, where Hagrid is talking to Harry and saying that you're a wizard for the first time.
Oh, blimey, Harry, didn't you ever wonder where your mum and dad learned it all?
Learn what?
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
A wizard. And a thumping good one, I'd wager, once you trade up a little.
No, you've made a mistake. I mean, I can't be a wizard. I mean, I'm just Harry.
Landed with you.
Blown up. You told me my parents.
And James Potter? Be going. Oh, and I suppose a great muggle like yourself's going to stop him, are you?
Muggle.
Non-magic folk. This boy's had his name down ever and he will be under the finest headmaster that Hogwarts has. Pot old fool, teach him magic tricks. Never insult Albus Dumbledore in front of me.
Okay, so we saw this. I'm sorry about the intermittent pausing. But this is something you see the tone of the movie. It's a bit happy. Even if there's something grave happening, it's something comedic over here as well. But then when you go to when you compare the first two movies and go to the third movie, you see a drastic shift. It's talking about how Harry was a child, and you're having these childish adventures, and then going to an adolescent period which is a scary time, and then you have scenes like this. Okay, so in both these scenes you see over here, the color scheme is totally different. That's why we're speaking about the color scheme in first. So we're denoting a shift in character. The first two movies, honestly speaking, personally, I got shit scared for the second movie. The second movie gave me nightmares for a very long time. But yeah, the second movie in itself was scary. But then that was in again the color scheme was a little brighter. Even in the darkest of moments, the darkest color that came was green and not anywhere near the grayscale. So over here, you see that light on Harry is very evident. His face is bright. You can see that even in darkest of moments, he's being happy. So this is the kind of analysis that we'll be doing. So, but this is not what we're talking about. I'm talking about the color scheme between the first two movies and the third movie. And from here on, you see that even in the forthcoming movies, that the same color scheme and the same grim feeling is taken over. So over here, you have a blue and a grayscale, black, and yeah. So this denotes something cold, something dark, something there's no soul, which is literally the Dementor's being. So we see that the third movie is shifting away from the generic first childish theme that Harry Potter was taking forward. And this was done by this person called Alfonso Cuarón. When you're doing an analysis, having context helps. So the this I'm talking about the director, and it's important because choosing the director itself was a weird thing, because his previous movie was about a sexual adventure talking it's called Itu Mama Tambien, which is a Mexican movie, and which broke barriers, I believe. And so moving on from a movie like this to The Prisoner of Azkaban, and then going on to movies like Pan's Labyrinth. So Pan's Labyrinth had a very a similar tonality like how Azkaban has. So when you have a director like this who's taking a leap and then doing a movie like Azkaban, you're seeing a novelty in the movie and a new step, a new brave step, because I'll talk about how the brave step about his mise en scene scenes later. So this is a big leap for Alfonso Cuarón. So this is why the director is mentioned, and we spoke about the adolescence and transition of from the first two movies to this, and over here we see that. Hopefully, I'm taking the right scene. Okay, let's keep this. So over here, I'll be using the scene a lot. We see that the camera is continuously moving. There is no single shot that which is static. If I play it faster, you'll see. You see that the camera is continuously moving.
show you a quicker way. If you play.
not only here, but over here as well. Even for a stationary object, the camera is continuously moving.
Anyone like to venture a guess as to what is inside?
That's a boggle.
Very good, Mrs. Now, can anybody tell me what a boggart looks like?
No one knows. Boggarts are shapeshifters. They take the shape whatever a particular person fears the most. That's what makes them
So terrifying.
Okay. In the fast forward scene, you could see that even when the camera is staying still, it moved a little. You could see that the camera is not on tripod; it is being handheld. And Alfonso Cuarón is famously known for taking long takes, and also has an affinity with handheld cameras and handheld movements because they give a natural feeling to a natural flow to the movie. Over here, this movement of the camera, there are two meanings that I could denote over here. That the handheld, the reason why it's not on a tripod or it's not on a trolley or anything, or it does not have any stationary head for it to have static shots, is that he wants it to have an uneasy feeling. He wants it to have that there's no stability, and this plays with the theme of the movie as well. So the camera is always moving as well. So this also denotes, I guess, forward momentum of the movie. So this plays with the theme because again, being from the prisoner of Azkaban, Sirius Black escapes, and there's no stability in the movie as well. There's always something that's happening, and the story is always taking you forward. There's no way that you can sit and think. So that is what the camera movements are meant to tell you about. So even the movements of the camera is important. The color schemes, the light, and everything in a frame which exists is there for a reason. You need to figure out what that reason is. And we will be talking about the mise-en-scene over here next. So this is an important part, and I spoke about the director and why he's brave, and choosing him was brave. This, to any hotel management student or just generally who's interested in food, would know what a mise en place is. Mise en place and mise en place, which means you have all the ingredients for the food ready, and then when you're cooking the food, you just have everything perfectly kept placed for the food to be prepared, which is the same for cinema as well. So a mise en scene means that you don't rely on the magic of editing. You don't you take a big risk of continuously taking that shot where nobody can afford to make a mistake. And this, I believe, talks about the director himself, because he feels like he wants to make an achievement, because his previous movie itself was a good rapport, and then it came out as barrier breaking, and he wanted this to be the same barrier breaking streak as well. So he wanted to have this continuous movement of scenes going around, and you'll see, I'll talk about, and then I'll talk about the placement and positioning as well, how in a scene it matters.
Good to see you, dear. Good to see you too. Now you've got everything you need. Yep. Yes, all of your books. Yeah, it's all upstairs. And all of your clothes. Everything's there. Good boy. Thank you. Harry Potter.
I'm sorry, the scene is 1 minute and 49, originally is 1 minute and 49 seconds, the mise en scene. As the video is going on, I'll be talking about the importance of placements. So
Mr. Weasley.
over here,
Harry, wonder if I might have a word.
we see over here that there are three focal points. First, when you see when you see the frame, you can see Mr. Weasley over here. You can see Potter, and also the third person, which is visibly seen, is this Sirius Black, and this weirdly Bill Gates looking person. But let's not talk about that one. So the three most recognizable faces that you can see immediately over here placed in the frame are these three, and you know right now that the scene is being about to be spoken about these three only, involving these three people.
Yeah, sure.
Manny, looking forward to a new term?
Yeah, it should be great.
Harry, there are some within the ministry who would strongly discourage me from the road you were about. But I
Okay, so over here we see that he's taken away from the crowd, and as he's taken away from the crowd, he's alone. Again, these three people are who in the frame. When he's taken away from the crowd, that means that his safety is becoming, I mean, his security is becoming a little lesser. He's being taken away alone. And as we move forward with the scene, we see that his loneliness is shown more and more with the shot becoming bigger. But we'll talk about it over here. So he's in the background with so he this is the background where Mr. Weasley and Potter are here, and this is the foreground where Sirius Black is there. So we see that the importance is coming, the importance of the conversation where he's moving from this place to this place, where when he's saying that the ministry does not want me to divulge information about something, we see that it's about him only, and then we will see to the next movement. So they walk from here to here.
Think that you need to know the facts. You are in danger. Grave danger.
So when he immediately says this, Sirius Black is in between of this, and Potter can recognize this as well.
Has this anything to do with Sirius Black, sir?
So this movement is continuously taken. There is no, I'm the one who's stopping, so there's no edit. So they move from here to here to here, and the entire camera moves along with them. The scene is continuously taking place. This is called the mise en scene, and the movement of the poster is continuously changed along in perspective of Potter and Mr. Weasley. Why? Because the importance of the conversation is amplified with the placement of the poster. Before it was on at the first it was in the background. You could see that that is what the conversation was about to be about, and then later they were standing over here and it was in the foreground. We saw that, and we knew that the grave danger or the secret is about Black only. And then when they both here together, we see that the grave danger is supposed to be Black.
What do you know about Sirius Black, Harry?
Only that he's escaped from Azkaban.
Do you know why? 13 years ago, when you stopped. Don't say his name. When you stopped, you knew who. Black lost everything, but to this day, he still remains a faithful servant. In his mind, you are the only thing that stands in the way. You know who, returning to power. And that is what he has escaped from us.
So he's moving away from security. He's going into a dark space, and it's about dark information. You see the light is falling on his face and only focusing on him. He's alone in the frame. So even Mr. Weasley has no light on him, so we don't see him especially. We only hear about the grave news, and the grave news is about him, that he's escaped from Azkaban to kill Harry Potter. So the lighting is important because it focuses on Harry, and it shows about how the information is focused on Harry, and also where the placement of them in respect of the cafe. So they're at the Leaky Cauldron, and they are moving. They're in one weird, that itself is a weird place. They're in a weird spot over there. So they're talking about how obscure and how not safe this piece of information is.
To find you.
Kill me.
Harry,
So over here we see that Harry has been going from a group to a duo, and it keeps talking about, the information keeps talking about him. It's the focus is going away from Black and how scary he is and how dangerous it is now for Harry. So we're focusing more on Harry, and we see that how
you swear to me that
over
whatever
here
you
we'll
did,
see later.
you weren't looking for Black.
Mr. Weasley, why would I go looking for someone who wants to kill me?
So the shot ends here with him, the focusing only on him. There was an entire group of people. Then it was focused only on these two having a conversation, and then having had the information, we focus only on Harry. So, and this entire thing was done in a mise en place, mise en scene. Mise en place is for food. So, mise en scene, and this was around being alone in a very grave situation. So, and we see this theme going around the entire time, and this theme fits with the movie as well. Prisoner of Azkaban is about how you go crazy when you're alone, and the theme is continuously taken over there. How It is taken by. I'm hoping that this is the video. I'm really sorry. So no, okay. So this is usually taken. Okay, so there are scenes in the movie where first it's only Harry that gets on the hippogriff, and then at the end of the scene, at the end of the movie, he flies away in the firebolt, and he's the only one who's flying away. And also when they're all going to oh god, they're all going on their excursion, and then Potter is left behind. And then he's again alone over there. So he has to fight Black alone. He has to fight the Dementors alone, and all of this theme is followed the entire. The this theme is followed throughout the movie. So this is one part of the theme, and the other part is where over here we see that this first scene itself is a wonderful scene where he keeps going through glasses and through mirrors. So when he's going through a window that you could see over here in the Marauders map, the first ever. Okay, so they're talking. They didn't go through the glass over here. There's another scene where they go through glass. So over here, they're talking. He didn't go through the glass. Why? That's also important because he sees the glass as a barrier. So, and there are other times where he does go through the glass, and he's saying break the barrier. That is what he's talking about, going through the windows in the glass, and it's a wonderful cinematic piece when you're looking at it. And over here, he's using mirrors as an example.
Intriguing, isn't it? Anyone like to venture a guess as to what is inside?
I love this scene; it always fascinates me. So when he's going through the mirror, and then he's looking, he's literally saying he's looking into you. So he's saying look into yourself. So these are the connotations of the movements of the camera through the object that he's going through. That is also important, and the placements of every single prop in the movie, in the frame, is also important. And we spoke about, yeah, we spoke of being alone and the mirrors, and also, yeah, the last thing was the foreshadowing part. So we over here, I'm guessing this is the video. No, no. Okay, so over here, we'll take this as an example itself. We see that we see footsteps over here, right? So over here, they reveal about the Marauders map, which is a map where they see footsteps. So this is called foreshadowing. So when you're introducing a concept before itself, about to introduce a main concept, is called foreshadowing. And then this you talk about in the movie. This is being talked about in the movie a lot, where there's the bird that comes in and then is beaten up by the Whomping Willow. There's, that denotes how dangerous the Whomping Willow is and all that. And also about the rat. There is no reason why a rat should have a scene in the movie. In writing in cinema, there's a very big rule where they say don't write about the squirrel. So when you write about a rat, or when you write about a bird, that means it has to be significant, because you're literally paying for the rat to be trained, or the rat or the squirrel to be trained, or if it's CGI, then it's CGI, and then do whatever you want them to do. So everything in a frame matters. And the rat had a scene over here. So in the first itself, where they run away, and the cat and the rat, they both have fights. So that gives a foreshadowing later that Peter Pettigrew is supposed to be the rat. So this is a major foreshadowing. This is small foreshadowing. This small bits and reveals that exist in the movie. And I will be writing all this down in a PDF and sharing it along with the video. And hopefully this helps in understanding how you create an analysis. This is how you do an analysis. And hopefully this is interesting as well, because this took a long time. Please do let me know if you have any doubts. I can do my best to help you. And yeah, all the best. Thank you. Bye-bye.